This administration's new counterterrorism strategy is a hit list aimed at crippling our movements, and thanks to NSPM 7, counterterrorism operations will now target everyday people fighting for a better world. Let's get into it. So when people hear the word counterterrorism, they think it means stopping people who plant bombs on airplanes. But under this administration, it means deporting activists, spying on organizers, or labeling an entire movement as an enemy of the state. And according to an internal strategy in their documents from this administration that were posted originally by Ken Klippenstein, the strategy to disrupt is already underway. Now, the document is full of deceptive wordplay meant to make the average everyday American not even think twice. For example, to describe the pro-Palestine movement, they use the word Islamist or jihadi. They use this word as a code for the entire Palestine liberation movement, student organizers, community organizers, journalists, cultural workers, and political spokespersons. Now, a protest in Washington becomes Islamist activity. A faculty member who signs a letter condemning the Israeli occupation becomes a jihadi sympathizer. The memo deliberately blurs the line and labels anyone who advocates for Palestinian liberation as a terrorist, and it gives them legal cover to deport, detain, and disappear activists for speech alone, and they bragged about doing exactly that. Now, the memo doesn't stop at Palestine. It explicitly names the entire American left as a counterterrorism priority, using military language that demands the rapid identification and neutralization of secular political groups whose ideology is described as anti-American, radically pro-transgender, and anarchist. Now, the word neutralization is a term meaning arrest, detention, deportation, or lethal action. The standard is intent and capability. This is a subjective threshold that gives the intelligence community discretion to target anybody they believe might eventually act. Now, the three-step strategy is simple: identify, cut off their funding, and ultimately destroy the groups themselves, not just individual actors either. And to justify this, the memo talks about the Red-Green Alliance, which is a code word for the alliance between the Palestinian Liberation Movement and the left. Now, the memo authorizes the full kill chain, using post-9/11 intelligence units to find and fix targets and Tier 1 military operations like SEAL Team 6 to finish them. For activists inside of the U.S., the memo orders diplomatic, financial, cyber, and covert actions against who they brand as state sponsors of terrorism. And just a quick aside, Republicans have labeled the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, as a terrorist group, y'all. And CAIR just so happens to be one of the largest Muslim civil rights advocacy groups in America. This memo also revives domestic information operations, admitting that propaganda units previously de-weaponized must now be reinvigorated to demoralize and delegitimize the people's movements. They are calling this counterterrorism meant to protect the homeland and its people, but the quiet part they're not saying is that they mean a homeland where white monopoly capitalists can live free without fear of revolution. All this is political repression meant to maintain the current order. Under NSPM 7, they've already classified the majority of the left as its key targets, and now this new memo orders the CIA, NSA, Pentagon, and immigration enforcement to map, cripple, and destroy movements using deportation, kidnapping, surveillance, financial warfare, and military-style targeting. The message in this latest memo is clear: if you disrupt the current order, you become a terrorist in the eyes of the state. The machinery is already built, the targets are already named, and they are coming for the entire movement.